Hello, welcome, Jack. So, my dear, I'm wondering, how do you feel about humans exploiting other animals?
Um, if it's Here's the thing, I don't dismiss anybody who is vegan. I do not. If that's what you choose, it's fine. I just, for me, it's not about. I think that's a healthy choice. In all honesty, I think it's more healthy than anything else. I do not like the fact that when animals are, and I'm not even sure how to say it. I'm not. It's because I kind of got shocked by the quick by the quick acceptance before I was able to put my thoughts together. I'm sorry.
That's all
Um,
right.
if if you choose to not have animals as part of your diet, that is, for me, I think, very noble. I think it is extremely, it's something that if you feel strongly about, absolutely. What I don't like is when people throw it in your face that they are a meat eater. I mean, I am a meat eater, but I will never throw it into the face of somebody who does not agree with that. It's like throwing into someone's face that they're not religious there or anything like that. That to me, I just believe is a lifestyle choice like anything else. Um,
So, actually, Jack, though, my question was, how do you feel about humans exploiting other animals?
well, I mean, if you're I mean, if you're talking about it other than in the terms of satiating themselves, of feeding themselves, then I am 100% against it. I mean, it's just it, to me. I would rather have the food on my plate come from somewhere natural rather than from a farm, from a slaughterhouse. But there's, I mean, again, this I just don't know any other way around
But my
that.
question, Jack, that doesn't actually address my question. How do you feel about humans exploiting other animals? Do you know what exploitation is?
Well, I know what exploitation is. Are you talking about like using them for something other than food? Is that what you're talking about?
So, to exploit somebody is to use them for personal benefit. And I'm wondering, how do you feel about humans exploiting other animals?
Well, I mean, if they're gonna kill an animal to wear their fur, I'm not for that. If they're going to you know, if they're going to, if it's, again, if it's not for food consumption, then then to me, that I do not believe that animals should be used for anything other than that. I mean, as pets,
You're
yes.
okay with exploiting other animals for food, but not exploiting them in any other
Well,
context? Do I have that correct?
exploiting them for food, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
So
I'm trying to understand your position. So your position is that it's okay to exploit them for food, but it's not okay to exploit them for any other reason?
I don't feel if they're food they're being exploited. I think they're being used for food. I don't think.
Well, but to exploit somebody is to use them for personal benefit. So, yes, killing somebody to eat them is a form of exploitation. Stealing somebody's breast milk is a form of exploitation. Stealing somebody's eggs is a form of exploitation. So, it sounds like your position is that it's okay to exploit other animals for food. It's not okay to exploit them for any other reason. Do I have that correct?
If you want, if that's the way you want to phrase it, then if that's the only option where I eat meat, and you're calling that exploitation.
Right, but Jack, it's actually not your only option. It's not your only option. This is called a false dichotomy. You could literally adopt a plant-based diet and not treat animals as products for you anymore.
I could,
You
but
could.
right, but you could also just be a plant. You could just eat plant based, and that's fine for you.
Right,
I
but what
mean,
about the animals, Jack? I'm here to be a voice for the animals that do not consent to you treating them as products, that don't consent to giving you their breast milk, that don't consent to giving you their ovulation, that don't consent to being murdered for you. And you don't need to exploit these animals. Like I said, you could just adopt a plant-based diet, you could go vegan, and no longer be the reason for animals being exploited and oppressed. But until you decide to go vegan, you are responsible for other animals being exploited and oppressed.
Well, then, I mean, if that's the way you have to phrase it, I mean, I'm on your side for the for use of animals outside of food. I believe is wrong. But if that's the way you want to, if you want to put me on that
So you it's
on
okay
that
to eat
shelf,
seafood, but not okay to eat.
because I like drinking milk. If you want to put me on that shelf because I like having a hamburger every once in a while. If you want to put if I like seafood, which is abundant in the ocean, if you want to put me
So
on that
so
pedestal on that shelf, then I guess me joining your fan club was a mistake because I am on your side for the ethical treatment of animals. But
No, but there's no ethical way to murder somebody that
yeah,
doesn't
okay,
die. There's no ethical way to take somebody's breast milk unconsensually. There's no ethical way to steal somebody's ovulation.
okay.
There is no ethical way to exploit somebody else. And until you yourself decide to go vegan, you're responsible for animals being exploited and oppressed by you. You are their oppressor until you decide to go vegan. And you don't need to exploit animals anymore. You could decide today to no longer be responsible for that. But right now, you are responsible. And, I'm not here to shame you, like, because I was in your position before. I was an animal oppressor. I was exploiting them. I was treating them as products. But I came to the conclusion that I have no good justification to do that anymore. And that's why I became vegan. But you said it's okay to exploit them for food, so I'm wondering
No,
when
well,
you
no, I didn't say that. You said that. Please don't put that word in my mouth. I did not
oh,
say
you don't
it's
think
okay
it's
to
okay to
exploit.
exploit
It's
them for
no,
food?
it's I'm not exploiting them. I'm not taking an animal and hanging it up, dragging it on the street, showing
Right,
people,
you're
hey,
just
look, I'm going
paying
to eat it.
somebody to do it, right? Every time
What's
you go
that?
to the grocery store and you purchase a piece of
Well,
meat, it's just
well,
paying for it to happen. Do you realize how supply and demand works?
well. Do you know that I also hunt? I mean, do you have a problem with that?
Oh, so you yourself are murdering
Yeah.
them.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you are directly
Okay. All right.
responsible for them.
It's obvious that see, I thought this was going to be a. You are calling what people have been doing for since the beginning of time, murdering. This is how humans
It is
have
murder.
evolved.
It is
They.
murder, Jack. Just
It,
because it's been going on since the beginning of time doesn't change the injustice. People have also been raping since the beginning of time. That doesn't make it okay.
okay. See that this is the problem. When there is somebody who, and again, have you ever raped anybody? Obviously, the answer is no. Okay, but you have eaten meat, and now you're telling people who are still eating meat that, oh, I did it, but now I'm not, so now you're wrong. So the hypocrisy. If you were born vegan,
Jack, no,
if you
Jack,
were
I'm
born
not saying
if
that
you
I'm
were
perfect.
born vegan and you were vegan from the womb, I would be 100% on your side. But
No,
but
Jack, but
but
look,
every single vegan I have
no,
ever met has been a meat eater, and now
Jack,
the hypocrisy is
Jack, look,
overwhelming.
listen,
It is
Jack, are
overwhelming,
you,
the hypocrisy
listen,
now that because I don't
Jack,
follow your lifestyle. I still
Jack,
eat vegetables. I
stop.
still eat things like that.
Jack,
But now you
no,
have
no, 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 no,
changed.
no. You
So
have a
I am wrong.
misunderstanding.
You have exploited animals. You
Correct.
have
I have
exploited animals.
expectations. Jack, are you able to take a deep breath?
I can take a deep breath, but it's just
Okay, take a
but
deep breath, Jack, and
okay,
listen. Because
I'm
look,
listening.
okay, I'm here to tell you, look, I'm not perfect, and yes, I have been responsible for animal exploitation. Like I said, in the past, I was fishing, I was eating animals, I was consuming their breast milk, I was consuming their eggs. And the reason why I went vegan is because I realized that it's wrong, and I'm not excusing my behavior in the past, not at all. In fact, I realized that it was wrong, and that's why I decided to go vegan. And Jack, I'm not here to shame you. Like,
Well,
because I
but
really,
you
I,
say you're not here to
Jack,
shame me, and all you're doing
are
is
you able
telling
to
me
listen? Are you
I'm
able to let me
listening.
finish?
Okay,
Are
I'll
you able
listen.
to let me finish? Are you able to let me finish,
Go
Jack?
ahead, go.
Look, I understand that this is the way that you were raised. You were raised to believe that animals are here to serve us, that there are like meat, milk, and egg producing machines. And I understand that honestly, like I can't even blame you for thinking that because that's what we've been conditioned to believe. What I'm here to do is to be a voice for the animals that can't stand up for themselves. I'm here to make you realize that it's an injustice and that it's wrong, and to hopefully convince you to decide to stop exploiting them and go vegan. I really honestly can't blame you for everything that you've done until this point because you just haven't thought about it. But from this point
Okay,
forward,
okay.
now,
First of all,
hold on,
can,
let me finish.
can,
I'm almost finished. I'm almost finished. Can you
okay,
please let me finish? Just listen. From this point forward, you're aware now that until you decide to go vegan, you're responsible for animals being exploited, and you don't have to be responsible for that anymore. You could decide today to no longer be their oppressor and no longer be the reason for their exploitation and oppression and go vegan.
okay. Can I ask how old you are? Would you mind?
Why is that
Because no,
relevant?
I just want. If you are you in your twenties? I don't need to know the exact age.
It's
Okay,
irrelevant.
okay.
It's irrelevant,
All right.
Jack.
I'm 57 years old. Are you telling me that my entire life is being predicated and described because I eat meat? Is that what you're saying? Because every other thing I have done within my life, raising three boys, working from the age of 30, everything I have done, I am a liberal. I am for women's rights. I am for everything. Are you telling me because I am not vegan that that is the major flaw with me? Of all the things I have done in my 57 years of life, that because I don't subscribe to a 100% plant-based diet, that I am a problem in this world. Is that what you're saying? Because of animals that are bred, that are made to be consumed, that are were put on this through evolution. We're in here for us to consume and use for sustenance and for protein. And I understand about there are plenty of plants out there that can be used in that part. But of all of the 57 years of my life that I have been here, the fact that I eat meat makes me a bad person. Is that because everything, because I can go through my entire life. I have been inside of mental homes because of suicide attempts. I have done everything I can to better myself, and you call me having a piece of chicken or a fish or an egg exploitation of animals. When an egg comes out of a chicken, when an egg comes out of a chicken, it is not fertilized. If unless that chicken
You're not
has had
listening.
yeah, every time an egg comes out of a female, it is not necessarily fertilized. I am not destroying an animal. I am eating an egg. So
Okay,
because it
Jack.
takes
So do
a
you think that
rooster and
females
a
are your
chicken.
egg producing machines? Jack,
What
do you believe that females are your egg producing machines? Do you see females as your resource to take their ovulation cycle? That is the issue.
are you,
That you
you
are
wait,
seeing these
wait, when
individuals as resources.
are you
That is
talking
the
about
issue.
female animals or female humans?
It
Because
doesn't
they are
fucking
totally
matter.
different.
Stop.
They are.
I'm muting your microphone because you need to calm the fuck down. You need to take a deep breath. Jack, I'm not saying that you're a bad person. I'm saying that exploiting other animals is wrong. And that's what you're doing. And look, I'm really sorry to inform you of this because I know that it's hard to accept. But yes, you've been doing something wrong your whole life. And I can't even blame you for all of the actions that you've done before this point because you weren't really aware, you weren't thinking about it. That was the goal of the meat and the dairy and the egg industry, was for you to not think about it. But now you're aware. I have brought it to your attention. Now you're aware. So honestly, now the responsibility is on you to go vegan, to adopt a plant-based diet, to stop treating animals as resources. But until you decide to stop treating these animals as resources, to go vegan, to stop exploiting them, you're responsible for their oppression. Do you understand that, Jack? You can unmute yourself to respond. You can tap on your microphone button to respond.
Sorry, this is I haven't. Again,
Do you understand what I just told you?
I understand what you are saying, and I listen. I respect what you are saying, and I am not. I would never tell you ever that what you are doing is wrong. But again, for however many years you have done it, and it's changed, and you've looked at it and said that you can't do it anymore. You were brought up
Right,
eating meat and all that. Now, it's
right.
and that is 100%. And I'm reading things in the chat.
Don't ignore the
I am
chat.
not
Honestly,
getting.
Jack, ignore the chat because
No,
I'm
listen,
just trying to tell
but no.
you.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not getting upset, and I'm not. I'm not out of breath. I'm just passionate about these things. I'm not angry. But it's just, it is just one of those things where when somebody has done something, it's like a born again Christian. They have fucked up so much that they are now born again, and now they're throwing it in my face. That okay, you have to be born again. When you have eaten meat, you have contributed to what you are saying, and now you've decided that it is wrong, and for you it is wrong. But now you were saying
No, it's
everybody else
wrong for
needs to.
everybody, Jack. It's
You were
wrong for
saying
everybody
everybody
who
else
explains
now
beliefs.
needs to follow your rule,
No,
your
no.
choice, or they are the problem. That is exactly what you were saying
It's
when you
not your
have done the
choice, Jack.
exact same thing.
Jack, stop. Look, I'm not here talking about myself. I'm here to be a voice for the animals. Are you able to look at things from the victim's perspective? What if it was you? What if you were born and assigned the day that you were born as the purpose to be murdered for somebody else's sandwich? Do you see the injustice? I'm not here to attack you, Jack. I'm here to stand up for them because their voices, their lives matter. Their lives are more important than your sandwich. Their lives are more important than your piece of cheese. Their lives are more important than your eggs because they're not even your eggs. These females are not your egg producing machines. These females aren't your breast milk producing machines. These females are not your resources to consume their flesh. Jack, I see that you're taking this personally. I
No,
don't
I'm
mean
not.
it as a personal.
I am really not. I'm not taking it personally. I just don't like the term. Again, I'm not taking it. I don't. I'm going to stay a fan of yours. I'm going to follow. I'm going to listen. I'm not taking anything you said personally. Just the word exploitation is the only problem I have,
But that's
and that's
just
something
being
I'm not going to
honest.
get you to change because I'm not exploiting the animals.
Yes, you are, Jack.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you are.
not.
By
I am
choosing
taking.
these
Okay,
resources, you are.
all right.
And I understand that this is not in line with your beliefs, Jack. I truly do. I understand this is not in line with your beliefs. And that's what I'm here to try to get you to do, to align your actions with your beliefs. I can see that you don't want to exploit other animals. And so the logical thing for you to do would be to go vegan so that you're no longer exploiting them, so that you're no longer their oppressor. Because I can see
But
that
see
you don't want to do that.
that's your logical take on it. My logical take is I will that the it, it's I'm just not going to change that at my age
No,
because
but
of
you're going to continue to oppress other animals. You're going to continue to exploit other animals because of your age. Jack, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Can you just picture things from your victim's perspective? Because they are your victims, because you are exploiting them. And until you decide to go vegan, you're their oppressor. You're the reason for their exploitation. You are responsible, but you don't have to be responsible anymore. You could decide today to go vegan, no longer be their oppressor, but I don't know, Jack. I don't know if there's anything else we can talk about because you're unwilling to accept this truth. And I am truly like sorry to have to bring this reality to your attention, but it is the truth. Until you decide to go vegan, you're responsible for them being exploited and oppressed. And I can tell that that's not what you want in your heart. You don't want to oppress them. You don't want to exploit them. You don't want to be the reason for this injustice. And you don't have to be anymore. You could decide today to go vegan. But Jack,
well,
I
I mean again and I it's just it's one I just it's one of these things where I'm just not I'm not if you want to blame me for the all the problems with animals out there, then as part of that problem, then that is an opinion of
Jack, do you
yours that
understand how supply and demand works though? Do you
I.
understand how supply and demand works? Do you think that people that purchase child porn are responsible for child porn being made?
Okay, so now the burger I'm going to eat tonight is going to be equivalent to child pornography, and see
No. See, you're
this is
not
the problem
understanding,
with
you're not following logic, Jack. You're
no
unable to follow
this is the
logic.
problem with extremism now.
No, Jack, but you don't seem to understand how supply and demand works. You don't seem to understand how supply and demand works. Here's how it works. When you pay for something, you're demanding for more of it. So when you pay for a dead animal, you're demanding for animals to be murdered. When you pay for milk, you're paying for somebody to be molested. When you pay for eggs, you're paying for a female to be exploited for her ovulation. That's what you seem to fail to be understanding. But this is how supply and demand works. Jack, I can't hear you. If you left TikTok, oh, he did leave. Let's get on to the next guest. Thanks, PJ. I'm unable to keep up with the chat, so thank you for doing you. Okay, let's get the next guest. Man, you guys, this is exhausting. This is exhausting. So tired. Guys, if you're not following, be sure to follow. I don't know if I can do another conversation. This is exhausting. I think I'm gonna go. If you're not following, be sure to follow. I'll go live again later. Be sure to follow if you're not following, and let's chat later. Hey guys, thank you all for supporting me and being awesome, and I hope you all have the day that you deserve. But I'm going to go for now, because I feel like it's just so exhausting. So exhausting. Because I'm here to speak from the animal's perspective. And it's just exhausting. Because imagine if it was you. Imagine if it was you. And honestly, if it was you, I would stand up for you too. How can you equate them to products? How can you objectify them like this? And I'm gonna go. Follow if you're not following, and we'll chat later. Okay? Bye-bye now.